Fast food wanker. I work at a fast food joint as a team member. I get a lot of asshole customers, but some outshine the rest. In particular, this one customer. He always comes through and then complains that he doesn't have enough salt on his chips, even if we add tons of extra salt. Now this is a story about one time when he came through. I had an ish day. Lots of customers yelling at me for stupid ish. He comes through drive-through. We pass him his food and who would have guessed it, he hands back the chips saying extra salt. He does this 3 times. At this point I swear there was more salt than chips. Anyway, he has decided that any more salt will wreck his meal and drives off. Fast forward a couple of days and I'm working again. He comes through drive-through and gets his same order again. This time when he hands me back his chips for extra salt even though there already is extra salt on the chips. I take the lid off the salt shaker and pour the whole thing in the box of chips. My manager saw me do it. I had out the chips, he speeds off. Then my manager and me starting pissing ourselves with laughter. I haven't seen the guy since. Coworker assaults me and gets fired with a cherry on top. I've been working a job in the solar industry for about half a year as an installer and the caliber of people I've been working with has been kind of a surprise. A lot of racism, climate deniers, that sort of thing. One coworker in particular has taken these traits to the next level though. Screaming the N-word all day, with the hard R, arguing that solar panels are a net negative to the environment, according to Fox News, showing up stoned hours late and regularly dropping tools off the roof have been par for the course with this guy. I even picked up a hammer belt loop for him one day after dodging a hammer he fumbled which he completely freaked out about and refused to use. It ended up turning into a running joke. Every time he dropped something we would offer it to him and he would refuse. Since my 3rd day on the job, this guy's been threatening to fight me. Usually I just tell him he doesn't want to do that, and he backs down. Last week though, things finally got out of hand. I'd been having some health issues and my patience with him had worn thin. I more or less told him I was done with his ish and proceeded to mostly ignore him for a few days. This got him angrier and angrier as he's the sort of guy that needs attention all the effing time, and it was just him, myself, and the foreman who is generally fairly stoic on the job. Finally, while we were on the roof, he attacked me over some inconsequential minutiae about who should be doing what aspect of the job. As I had kept telling him, he regretted it. I'm not the best fighter, but I can more than hold my own against a blow hard like him. Speak softly and all that. In any case, he ended up leaving in an Uber, fairly bloody. That isn't the petty revenge bit though. That comes in when we were clearing his tools out of the truck for hour to give him when they fire him. I slipped the hammer loop into the bag. I wish I could see the look on his face when he finds it. I feel bad for anyone that has to deal with him after. So you think it's okay to cut in line for a kid's ride? Today I took my daughter, 5, to a fall event at a local farm. One of the first things we encounter is an area for smaller children with a bouncy house and 2 different bouncy house slides. Both slides have a line because they make the kids go one at a time for safety reasons. We're in line for the taller one and a lady with what I presume is her 3-year-old granddaughter decides it's totally okay to cut in front of 2 per 3 of the line. It bothered me that she did that, but I bit my tongue because we just got there and I didn't want to make a commotion. Hell, maybe she didn't realize because the line wasn't exactly uniform. Next we go to the shorter slide. This woman decides to have her granddaughter cut right in front of my kid. I glared at her because now I know this is intentional. She smirks back at me as if to say, yeah, I did it, and I know you aren't going to do anything about it. I'm pretty mad at this point, and I'm certainly not above being an absolute prick to people that do me wrong and have a big mouth. But again, I don't want to get kicked out or worse, set a bad example for my kid. She didn't even notice the girl cut in front of her. Well, I noticed the woman pull out her phone, as her granddaughter is climbing to the top of the slide. I decided to enact the pettiest possible revenge at the moment. As soon as the kid started to go down the slide, I stood right in front of her phone so she couldn't get the picture video. Thanks for watching and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.